What's up? What's up? Happy Friday. Today is the first. Oh. Today is the first day of a mindful minute with Queen and. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining. Mm, Okay.
Hey,
Hi. Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I feel good.
I do
I
too.
feel good.
I
How
do
do
too.
you feel?
I feel good. It's Friday. I mean, today was a pretty good day, so I can't complain.
Good. You had a good
I
week?
did. Yep, it was very productive. I got a lot of things done, so I'm excited to be here and excited to start this journey.
Me too. Thank
Yes.
you for having me as your partner to start this journey. I'm really excited for us and
Yes.
excited to
Yes.
curate safe space for everybody to talk mindfulness.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you everybody for joining. I see you guys coming in the room. Hello, hello. Hi everybody. So today is the first episode of A Mindful Minute with Queen and Key. Like she said, we just wanted to create a safe space to talk about all things from motherhood to mindfulness. So I'm super excited to start this first episode. So today we are talking about all things investing in yourself. And I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to add, but if not, we can just really get started.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about it. So when we talk about like investments, right? I think a lot of people think that investments is just money and how you can invest your money for, wealth and a better lifestyle or what have you. But I think it's really important to just kind of bring it in and really talk about other ways that you can invest in yourself, especially in motherhood, because as you know, when you become a mom, a lot of things change, and you just want to kind of build on the strength of your mind, body, and soul. So, what does that look like to you? Like, I just want to talk about it in general. What does investing in yourself look like for you in your life, especially after you became a mom?
Well, me, like personally, when I first became a mom, is when I noticed like that my wellness investment is truly like daily commitment. It's not like, oh, one day out of half a year or one day out of 30 days. Like it's committing to a lifestyle of wellness, like being well as far as exercising my body, moving my body, getting sunlight, eating well, like pouring into myself where I'm filling myself up first to be well in order to be a well mother. Um, I when I did become a mom, like you said, it was so much, like so many changes that I didn't notice at first that I wasn't really doing what I had usually did before. Like all of my wellness practices had kind of gotten thrown off because I was just so consumed with taking care of my baby, and then taking care of my partner,
Right.
my home, like
Right.
it's like
Which
I
is
kind of
all
forgot about.
normal, right? Like all of
Exactly.
these things are normal. And I think we tend to forget about, like, I need to get back to myself in order for me to be the better partner, the better mother. Like, as we shed these old feelings of ourselves, we have to get back to that feeling. And I think that's kind of where a lot of moms either lose themselves or they find themselves in motherhood. So I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I just thought that was important to say.
No, definitely, I agree, because I feel like I found myself on a deeper level when I realized, like, okay, I need to reset. Like I need to reset. I need to go back to the drawing board and pour into myself. I can't just be everything for everybody else. This is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started recommitting to my daily practices, like listening to my morning affirmations. And I started working out like consistently every day. And that was like opening me up to a new me, because even before, like I was always committed to daily affirmations, listening to like positive podcasts, just trying to be mindful of like what I was putting into my body when it comes to content, like even like with social media algorithms, like, so just following positivity and like being mindful of how I speak about myself, how I speak about other people, all of that, like was like on a path to be like committed to that, but I was never like really consistent in my workout. Like,
Me.
so like motherhood has like helped me really commit to working out because I gained like a lot of weight, and so it is like everything was off with me. So like that has helped me find myself in a deeper way, and even like regulate my emotions on a deeper level, because I feel like it was like the missing piece to me being like into my wellness, like being intentional about my food, about the food I eat, about everything, you know, the water I drink, all of that. So I just feel like motherhood did open up like another level of me, you know, that I am grateful for. Even in the spaces in the beginning, you know, it was like super hard to commit to, you know, getting up every morning, working out. Just carving out that hour was difficult, because I was like really like into just my baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. So it's like, yo, you gotta
Chill.
find somewhere, yeah, for
Yeah.
you. um so I feel like that's the true investment for wellness is like really like getting yourself in that space to be disciplined, to say, I'm going to be intentional about having healthier practices for myself, my mind, my body, my spirit, and everything in, you know, in the vicinity of that. I'm just going to do better. And because we're all humans, so we can all like get in that little dark space where we might talk negative or want to say something negative, or even like unlearning negative behaviors. But it's just like always going back to the drawing board, like, okay, let me get back in my space.
Right.
Let me be disciplined, you know, let me commit to my wellness. I feel like that's the true investment to being well. Moving your body, finding your mental release, because therapy isn't the answer for everybody. So I feel like it can be spiritual healers, you know, Reiki, just safe spaces for you to get it off, you know, and just pouring into yourself, whatever way you feel is really feeding your spirit, you know. I feel like you have to find that intentionality and stay intentional about it. That's the true investment, because if you're not investing in your wellness, I feel like you can't really move to that next space of investing into your wealth,
Yeah.
you know?
I agree. And I think you said something that kind of resonated with me about, you know, just social media and like being online every day and being conscious of like the type of content that you consume. Even that in itself is an investment. And I know, you know, for myself and for both of us, like the type of work that we do, we have to be on social media. But specifically for me, I'm like, I need to like curate my timeline so I know for sure, like when I open any of these apps, I know that it's going to be some form of like positivity, motivation, inspiration, just to keep my mental in a certain place. And so that in itself is an investment, like just making sure that your mental is always, not always, because that's kind of impossible, but for the most part, it's like in a good space.
Right.
And also working out. I think a lot of people, they don't really realize like how much working out like directly affects your mental health. I know for me, like that's what motivates me to even get in the gym, because I know if I'm having a bad day, like I can just let that steam off in the gym and it's gonna come back tenfold physically for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those were great points.
And I feel like when it comes to working out, it's important to find what works for you, because like my partner, he loved to go to the gym. Like that's his zone. That's where he get in the zone. He work out. He feel good. You know, he get his best results.
Right.
For me, like I have fell in love with YouTube workouts. So like I work out on YouTube every day and I love it. But some people dance, you know, like some people, they go dance, just moving your body and finding that rhythm, like Pilates, yoga, you know, it's a lot of different ways. Outside CrossFit, you know, joining like CrossFit gyms. I be seeing a lot of people do that now. So I feel like it's really important to find what works for you, what works for your body, like what makes you feel like I'm enjoying this workout. This is like really motivating me. I'm releasing, you know, I'm feeling
Yeah.
good. And like once you see results, I feel like that's even more motivation, because when I started seeing results, I was like,
Like
okay, I gotta.
once you see that physical aspect, you like, okay, I don't even want to stop at this point. Like for what? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I also, how do you feel about, you know, investing in yourself, like from the physical aspect, because I know for me, just from being a mom, I know like the first 6 months to a year of me being a first time mom, like I really let go of a lot of habits that I used to do, like getting my hair done, getting my nails done, even, putting on a nice outfit, just looking the part. And now over time, I'm like slowly but surely starting to get back into that groove of like, just looking like somebody, even if that's just to go take the kids to daycare and come back home. Like I'm just putting more effort into how I look, and not in a cliche type of way, but I think it just goes back to when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you want to provide better results. You attract better opportunities. Like I think all of that is an investment. When you really invest in yourself from like mind, body, soul, spirit, and the physical, you just attract better.
Yeah, because I feel like you exude a different type of energy when you like showing up as your best self. Like I invested in me. You can feel my energy when I walk in a room. Like, oh yeah, she she's in no business. So I feel like when you exude that energy,
Right.
it does make a difference, and you definitely attract like just great opportunity out of nowhere, because you standing in that. So I definitely feel like you gotta do those things for you. And when you and the therapist went on live yesterday, was it, or day?
I think it was the day before
Okay,
yesterday.
yeah. The point y'all made about like nails and hair and like
Self-care.
massage and all that, like might not be like self-care as far as it's fun or it's something that's in a release, but I feel like it is maintenance when it comes to being a woman or a man. Like either way, just like caring for yourself in that way is definitely investments, and it shows because you really like teach other people how to treat you based on how you show up in the world. So if you're not caring for yourself in that way, people not going to treat you like you are.
Right. And then you
So
wonder why like you're not getting the results that you want in the real world, because you're not showing up that way.
exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
it's really important. And I also think of it, when I think about investments, because for me, outside of motherhood, I also feel like, career and professional development is something that's really important to me. So I will invest my money into, memberships or conferences or some type of aspect to put myself in rooms with people that I look up to or that, relate to who I see my higher self as, so that I can learn from these people and I can kind of exude the energy that I'm seeing in these rooms of people who I aspire to be like one day. So even those types of investments like conferences or, membership based communities, anything that is just going to better who you see your higher self as.
Yes, definitely. I think that's a major key to growing and progressing, because I feel like when you first like take those steps to get in those rooms, it might not be as comfortable, because you might not be, where you want to be at yet, but you got to take those uncomfortable steps to, see that growth, and make the changes you want to see. And also, you brought something to my mind about like making the investment for a conference, or I was going to say sometimes the investment doesn't have to be going to the gym or a gym membership. Like sometimes it could be investing in a life coach, or a wellness coach that can get your mind right first to help you reach the space where you can get in the gym next. Like it doesn't always got to be the point you had made about like, oh, I want to be a 5 a.m. gym girl. Like it doesn't always got to be what's like trending. You got to figure out your
What's for you?
wave. Yes, your wave first, because maybe if I hire this wellness coach, I get my mind right, then I can get in the gym, because they're going to help me,
Right.
get disciplined,
Right.
and figure out, how to regulate whatever's going on with my emotions so I can say, all right, I'm going to the gym tomorrow, or I'm going to start,
Yeah.
So
And I
I
do
like
think
that
that
too.
I really think that it's a mindset shift for everybody. Like I think everybody has to make a conscious decision that, hey, I want to change my life for the better. So
Yeah.
I feel like people have to get to that point where they're like, I don't want to do what I used to do. I want to get rid of these old habits and I want to be a better me. But I don't really know how that process looks for everybody. So like, what did it look for you when you were ready to make that change? Was it after you had your baby, or did you kind of know before, like, I see something better in me and I just want to exude that. Like, what does that look like for you?
So I feel like I've been on my wellness journey since like 2016 of like, it took a lot of time to like really unlearn a lot of unhealthy habits that I had. I was raised like eating like pork, all types of meats, like just unhealthy habits.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2016 is when I really like cleaned my diet, started like exercising more, being intentional about juicing, detoxing my body, pouring into myself in a more intentional way. So then in like 2019, that's when I lost my brother, and I went through like a whole spiritual transformation of like really like healing myself on a much deeper level, like facing my traumas and just becoming a new person. And it was hard, honestly, like just to be real, it was hard.
Just to face your trauma alone, like it's hard to have to look at all of the things that you've been through and say, like, this isn't me. I'm gonna overcome these challenges. Like that in itself is a very, very hard thing, but it's possible. And I do think a lot of people, they kind of stop right there. Like when they have to face that reality of whatever it is, I think that's where they stop because it's not a good feeling.
I agree.
So I commend you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Because it's definitely not a good feeling. And that's why I feel like the key investment is discipline. Having the discipline to move through how difficult those beginning stages will be. When you're investing, I feel like in really regulating your emotions and going deeper and figuring out why you reacting in the way that you react, or why you're doing the things you do, even like why you're talking in a negative way about yourself, or saying like, yo, this is something like I really gotta unlearn. Like I can't keep speaking about myself in this way. Why am I doing this? Or why do I react to these situations the way that I react to these situations? I feel like when you really do that, discipline is the key, is the real key investment, because only discipline is going to keep you motivated to keep showing up and keep working through those hard emotions. Because, like you said, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And sometimes when things get tough or it doesn't feel well, we just want to escape, you know? So, yeah, I feel like that's what's gonna like take you over to the next to the
Yeah.
other side of um I really want to do this. You know, I really want to push through this. And like you said, when I did become a mom, I feel like I did like have to like rewind, because I my mind went to like a space of like, I don't know, what am I doing? What do I have going on right now? And how do I do what I was doing before?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was I did go to a space of like, I feel like I was like even like saying like low vibrational things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't myself, you know?
Yeah.
And I it's so amazing because I feel like motherhood is so beautiful. It's like the love is like the most pure love I've ever experienced in my life.
Okay.
But you can just like you said, you can lose yourself in it. So you have to like go back to the drawing
Mm-hmm.
board. And I feel like not only motherhood does that, but just like major transformations or shifts in your life can just put you in a space of like, who am I right now? Because this is not who I was.
Right.
This is not who I want to be. So I need to figure this out. So again, like I feel like discipline is the only thing that can like take you over that.
Yeah, for sure. And it kind of reminds me of what, me and Tiffany was talking about yesterday, like just pivoting from like one area in your life to another and just giving yourself grace between where you're at and where you want to be, because that process alone is like, where am I, what am I doing, how am I going to do this? But you have to trust your gut, follow your instincts, and like just take those baby steps and keep being honest and truthful to yourself about what you want and what you want to do, and eventually you'll wake up and like you'll literally have the life that you dreamed, literally.
That's key. What you said, like being honest with yourself, because you can lie to everybody else, or you can even put on like a facade of whatever you want to put on for social media or even people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but if you're not truthful with you, you're not gonna get, you're not gonna see any changes, you know, in yourself. So, and baby steps too. I definitely agree with you. Like, you gotta ease your way back into it. You gotta ease your way in and just say, today, you know, I'm gonna do 30 minutes, or I'm gonna just do 10 minutes. You know, I'm gonna
You
give,
did something.
yes,
That's it.
yes. Like you said, that grace for yourself, baby steps. I think that's key to like easing your way in,
Mm-hmm.
taking it easy so you can get change, because it's not going to happen like
Right.
that, you know?
Right.
It's not going to happen. Because if you think about like all of the habits that we could like come to realization, like, oh, I need to unlearn this, or this is not healthy
Yeah.
for me. Think about if you've been doing that for 10 years, or if you've been doing that for 5 years, or even a year, that's a long time, you know, and you have to like really be gracefully work your way back. Like, all right, let me be conscious and let me be intentional about making a change that I want to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know, like I used to hear a lot of people say something along the lines of like, don't focus so much on the destination, like just really enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, I couldn't really wrap my mind around what that meant until I started applying it to myself, like just really enjoying every phase of your life and like really just honing in to like whatever it is that you're working on right now, because once you get there, what's really going to matter is like all the challenges that you've overcame throughout those times, and like the people who you met, the people who you've lost along the way. Like
Mm-hmm.
those are the types of things that are going to matter at the end. So I think really just taking a step back and just really like enjoying your day-to-day life and just really being grateful for where you are and where you want to go.
Yeah. Gratitude. I'm so big on that. Like, I'm so big on gratitude.
Yeah.
And you also brought something to my mind when you said the people, because I feel like the people who are helping you on your journey, the people that you're choosing, that's another
Mm,
investment, because
that's a good
you
one.
don't want to be the person that's always pouring, but nobody is pouring back into you. So that's a big investment. And those people that you're choosing on the journey, whenever you do get to the destination, it's new journeys that you guys will go on, and y'all gonna enhance each other's new journey, you know. So I feel like that's a good, you know, like you really brought that to my mind about the people. You really need to be intentional about who you choosing,
Yeah.
because you got to choose people who are choosing you too, you know, who can feed you the way that you're feeding them. A mutual catalyst for growth, I feel like, should be at the top of my mind at all times. Like, I don't want to be the person that's always pointing to everybody around me, but I want everybody to be helping each other, you know,
Absolutely.
so we can all grow. We can all go to the next phase of our life. Because we do need each other, you know,
We
we
do.
need people, we
We
need
do.
community,
We do.
and it's important to find your community. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I want to stay on this topic for a second because I think, you know, like you said, like having the right people around you can be extremely helpful or extremely detrimental to your growth. So when you come across people, do you feel like you have a certain type of discernment around like who can be in your space, who cannot be in your space, or how do you determine what type of people you have around you, especially when you're going through that like transitional growth phase?
Definitely. Well, I'm an energy worker, so
True.
I feel like, you know,
Yeah. Right, right.
I'm always on, like, I do attract a lot of, you know, people. They see that light in me,
Mhm.
so you know, it's like I need to grab onto that. I
Yeah.
need some of
Even
that.
if
I
they're
need,
damaged.
yes, I
Yeah.
need to heal, you know.
Mhm.
So boundaries is a big thing for me when it comes to, like you said, discerning who can pour into
Mhm.
me, and just honoring people from where they are in their life,
Mhm.
and understanding like that I do have a purpose.
Mhm.
You know, I do. And sometimes I do have a purpose to pour in people who can't pour into me, right? But it can be overwhelming for me. Like, I just have to like be very intentional about my boundaries. And I've gotten better at that over time, because in the beginning I did I wasn't as great as I
Yeah.
am with it now, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just something you have to be mindful of. Like,
Yeah.
um, you know, just being mindful of, can can this be a mutual situation, you know, or do I have a purpose here? And is this going to take too much out of me? Do I have this to give? You know, is my cup full? If my cup is full, you know, sometimes I was just talking to my partner about this, like when it comes to us doing things but we not getting paid, like, because we be talking about that, so, like him and his brother, they got businesses and stuff, and like they do a lot for each other where they ain't making money. Like he'll do something for his brother to make money, or you know, brother do something for him. And like I do it all the time. So we was like talking about, you know, like it just gotta be intentional and set boundaries to just know, like, I'm doing this for somebody who is there for me, you know. I'm pouring into somebody who pours into my business in a different way. It's not gonna always be like we said, investing isn't always the money, you know. Sometimes it's people showing up in a different way. So I feel like it's boundaries, and it's just really like being mindful and intentional about how you choose, you know, how you choose. And whenever you see and you know, like this relationship isn't good for my space that I'm in right now in my life, and I can't grow with them, my work here is done, you know. And making peace with it, and knowing like it's all love. And yeah, I'm gonna be peaceful, you know.
Right. Right, but that's so true. And I'm sitting here like it's kind of sentimental because like I'm a super emotional person. So like sometimes for me when like relationships kind of dissolve in that way, it hurts a little bit. But at the end of the day, you got to realize what you just said. Like it's a peaceful ending. I've done what I've come here to do, and that's it. Like I feel like if I continue to put myself in these spaces, it's not going to serve me. And I'm at a point in my life where I realize if it doesn't serve me, I just cannot. Period. So yeah. So I love
Yeah.
that. And I see y'all in the chat. I
Yes.
see y'all in the chat. But yeah, this is a really great conversation that I wanted to have, you know, just around like investing in yourself, because it's really not about money. Like when you look at it at the grand scheme of things, it's never about money. It's about
Never.
your your internal peace. That's what it's always about. That's what it will always ever be about.
I agree. I feel like it's all about love and peace, you know. Like if you don't got love around you, it really don't matter how much money you invest in. It don't matter how much money you getting if you don't got genuine love around you, because it ain't gonna mean nothing to you. But if you got that love around you, if y'all getting money or if y'all not, it's gonna be a beautiful time. It's gonna be a beautiful experience. It's gonna be a beautiful journey, you know. So I agree with you. It's all about the love and the peace for me, you know, in my life. And I'm grateful to be in that space, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that it ain't about the money. And I feel like you can't really get to where you're supposed to get until you make you know, but come to that realization that it ain't about the money. You know, it's really about being well, internally well. Because if I got a whole lot of money but I'm not internally well, that money don't got no value.
Right. And I think,
you know,
we've seen this like time and time again with people who get money and do something stupid with it.
yeah,
Like it's just
I've seen it for myself.
yeah.
I've experienced it in my own life.
Right. It
So
just doesn't make any sense, and it's not a value. But hey, that's the world we live in.
yeah,
But
that's why it's
but no, yeah.
important for us to have these conscious conversations so we can all grow together, and we can, like we said, hold that safe space, you know. And a lot of people probably want to talk about, you know, a lot of the things that we're going to talk about on the podcast. So I feel like that's why it's important to like build community, talk about what needs to be said, so everybody can, like, as a collective, come together and heal. Because even people who didn't think about it in that way might be like, you know what, that's real. You know, I don't even need to be thinking about the money no more, because it ain't about the money, you know. I feel like we can like really like turn on lights, like, yo, I'm glad I listened to that conversation, because I was worried about money, and it's gonna be all good,
Yeah.
you know.
Like it's gonna all work out in the end. So
Yes.
I really hope that we can be that for whoever. You know, this is a safe space, not just for mothers, but for all people who, you know, have an ear and want to listen.
Yes.
We definitely plan to be here every Friday at 6 p.m. going live, talking about different topics. Next Friday, we are set to talk about life after motherhood. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so next Friday is going to be a conversation around motherhood. But again, the space is open to anybody with the ear that wants to listen. Every Friday at 6, we will be here. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this conversation with us. Do you have anything else, any last thoughts that you want to say before we head out?
No, I really hope everybody enjoyed this conversation as well and took something away. You know, was able to like grab a gem and want to come back next Friday. And I thank you guys for coming. Everybody who got on the live, thank
Me too.
y'all.
I really
I'm grateful for y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I hope I can see you guys again.
Yep. And so be on the lookout. We are going to post the replay within the next couple of days on a Mindful Minute podcast. So if you're not following, make sure you do so. And thank y'all so much for joining. Happy
Thank y'all.
Friday. Bye. All right. Love you.
Love you.